If there was no COVID-19, I would be in the United States at this time. But now I am in Nairobi, I'm in Kenya, and today we are doing team building through rejoicing with those who are rejoicing. One of our finance directors has a function where we celebrate and receive the dowry on our behalf. This is teamwork. But today I have stopped at Viewpoint. And I know most of my friends from the United States, even from Switzerland, they have stopped here at one point, at one time or the other. So we want to bring Kenya to you. Because I have not been able to come to visit, we bring Kenya to you. So this is Viewpoint. Enjoy the Great Rift Valley. And to my left, is down there is Beat the Drum Children's Home. Enjoy as we bring you more of Kenya today to you. The gospel has been presented in many different ways. And the effects of the way the gospel was presented affects the growth and the future of Christianity. We, as GOA, seek to be relevant in our presentation of the gospel, in our evangelism, and in the way we embrace Christianity. Today, we are thinking about dowry. The Bible speaks so much about dowry, so much. In the Jewish culture, dowry was part and parcel of it, and given in different ways to different people. In African context, same way. But when Christianity came to Africa, some people were too weak to condemn dowry. And some say it's evil, it's an African practice that is anti-Christian. But we have wanted to embrace the practices that are useful. They are Christian, and they have relevance. So today we are actually escorting one of our staff, our financial director in GOA, the CFO, and Grace, as her husband and her friends and family comes to bring dowry to her home. So it is very exciting for us to be able to be part of this, because when we join Christians in marriage, the certificate that we give them here in Kenya, it is African Christian marriage. That's the law by which we join them. And it is extremely important that we understand that this is a practice that is part and parcel of our culture. Of course, there are extremes that we cannot go to, which contradicts our faith. But it is important that we do what we ought to do in this. If it were not for COVID, I would be in the United States at this time. And one of the things I enjoy in my October trips in the United States is I get to learn about the American culture, and they get to learn from me about the African culture. So I guess today we'll be talking about dowry. And when we start these conversations with my friends in America, some find it very interesting and very, very humorous. I have friends who tell me that since if they were in Africa, that they would be wealthy because they have many girls, that they would be wealthy because cattle would be brought to them. And they also tell me that they are in that culture, that if you have a girl, you take the dowry too. Well, all these cultural practices are things that we really need to understand and approach them with relevance if gospel is going to have a meaning. Otherwise, sometimes we make the gospel be rejected because we mix it too much with the culture, or we condemn culture, even that part which would be good if it was relevant. So friends, let's seek to be relevant in our culture. Let's seek to be relevant in our evangelism. Paul, talking about the gospel, says in Romans chapter 1 and verse 16, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, for it is the power of God to the Jew and to the Gentile. Now this gospel is presented within a culture, but it is power if we present it in a relevant way. It retains its power. We have seen in many places in the scripture where the power of God is manifested through the gospel. So the culture is really not the problem itself. But if we do not become relevant, sometimes we make the gospel be rejected. Or people embrace it together with their culture and make a form of syncretism, a form of religion that is mixed up and denying the power that is in the gospel. So we need to be therefore culturally relevant in our presentation of the gospel. Issues like dowry and marriage and others, they have their place. But the Christianity retains its power. The gospel retains the love, because the gospel is about love. John 3:16. So that love should not be diluted within the cultural practices. Sometimes people go to dowries and they end up going home very angry and annoyed and arguing and bargaining, and people get so angry. When we come to such events as a church, we do not come so that the gospel may be rejected or taken wrongly, but we come so that we stand for the gospel, so that we represent the gospel properly, so that it retains its power, so that His love is clear, and so that people may come to Christ. Thank you. May the Lord bless you.